Alright. Hello and welcome back to Danganronpa here. And Twitch has actually made my stream element not take up the entire bloody screen. Wow, it took them ever since Mixer died to figure out that you could move, or it's probably Xbox, but it took Xbox ever since Mixer died, so what, 2-3 years, to figure out that you could use the padding on that freaking live stream sensor? No way. Anyways, let's set our skills here. We got a couple from Chihiro, which this seems worthless. I'll equip it because there's just literally no reason not to, because we don't have enough SP to do anything else, but increase the speed of memorizing a statement. Okay. Alright, but yeah, let's... Forgot who murdered Chihiro. And that Toko's Genocide Jill, or Genocide Jack, or Genocide Show, or whatever you want to call her.
So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, let's make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow, because the first element of every class trial must be something painstakingly obvious. Locker room dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yeah.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But
they are really quiet.
What blunt instrument could it have been?
I mean,
bet
the
it
dumbbell?
was an iron pipe. Interesting. It certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Gotcha's bludgeoned by an iron pipe. Man,
Chihiro's
can't
fatal
believe
injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma
Still can't
file,
fast forward.
the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron.
Oh, it's speed. Ah,
Poor Chihiro.
well, I found the speed up button.
Chihiro's fate, it appears it was...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of
Blunt instrument? I bet it was an iron. No,
There we go.
it's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yeah, it's an investigation.
Yes! That's so creepy!
You'll have fun learning this trial.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the Finnish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? Yeah, sure, let's learn about the new one now. It's updates. You're finally learn about white noise. There's the white noise. A button to attach a silencer and use that shit on white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. But I believe the Chihiro's ability, that's not true. And we're not sent in general, so that doesn't matter. I think we're sent to... It's not kind. Is it kind? I don't know. It's really the middle option is. It's not, we're not a mean.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
The thing Bakuya showed in the archive, one looked at that and everyone convinced that this was indeed the work of Genocide Jack.
The culprit is Genocide Jack.
I'm
sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no...
No, it's wrong. I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Can you not read or are you stupid?
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Is the fact they're all killed with specialty scissor knives. Is the fact that all the victims are males. Nope, it's none of those.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely
And
suspended
Bakuya.
in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
No, we're just gonna say it right out. Alright.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Not real for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for a Genocide Jack to be Toko, and also not to be Toko. The answer is that she's not one person, but multiple people, right? I don't know how to spell this. I don't know how to spell schizo. You expect me to know English? I mean... Okay, it starts with an S. I guess it's Nope, it's not a Z. It's a C. Z. Got it.
Now I understand.
I gave him the H there.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows that Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior. Well, her behavior changed. I mean,
You're talking about how
you
she
said that in
started
the question.
acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Yeah, I'm fine. Was that dead body? Hey, are you dead? Man, she must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The worlds are front and back, the top and the bottom, a sea of truth, no one lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different. It's like her voice actor
funny, that's for
changed.
sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Yeah, how dare you assume someone's,
Not to
tones.
mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again,
Jeez.
she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Yeah, yes? I won't let Genocide Jack have control. Drive the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
There you
Toko
go.
was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
What?
You have only
Peculiar
yourself
line.
to blame.
No.
You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control of her again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
It's a weird promise to make, in that the other option is you kill someone.
how
and
many
you
times
die.
do I have to tell you? I never said that. but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but...
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
So she knows nothing about her split personality.
The opening act is nearly
Interesting.
finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What about Genocide Show?
What happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back humor. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Check them real quick. Alright, let's try that. See if that's any better. This murderous fiend, Genocide Jack, is beyond
Miss
insane.
Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
What, the entire situation
Well, I'll
here?
tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh? But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
I don't think Toko could lift a dumbbell.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. Which said, I need to go get some more details about all this. Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more
I don't
proof
think so.
do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill—
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches. What more proof
Do we need?
Dang it.
Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really
Perhaps if you had an alibi.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi.
No, it's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this
Just
one.
a slight difference.
How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Well, I mean, yeah. One clear difference in the murders. In photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach, and you'll see a clear difference. Well, the victim's fatal injury.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how the body is suspended. In all the photos, in the photos of Genocide Jack's cases, all the victims were stabbed through the hands. I mean,
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
which, how you get scissors to go through not only a person, but through like a concrete wall is interesting.
And guess
but
what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
And it's pretty obvious.
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
There's patterns surrounding the genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit. If you look at the names of their victim, you'll notice that. I think I figured it out.
I got
a
it!
girl. Well,
Is it because
yeah.
Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged man-madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of a one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
And she's not wrong.
Does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class, envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you
Sure about that?
Da-da-da-da!
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Well...
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, no, there is one more person. One person who could have copied Genocide Jack's cases.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents.
He's already admitted
or
that he had
internal
this knowledge
police
before we
records.
came here, so...
Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Yep.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all? Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, would you agree? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched locker rooms. Let's start the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Yeah, maybe you do. Chihiro's missing.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead.
I mean, Chihiro's the only one missing. There's clear contradiction with what you just said to make it clear to everyone. Oh boy, a new element that non-stop debates. Sure. Oh, truth flashback, okay. Hold down the Y button, then you'll memorize the weak spot. Okay. Likewise, to memorize a different weak spot and then use that to make your case. Alright. Good luck and have fun.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So what's the order of that? Kirimbaku's comment about tripping a girl. I realize there's a clear contradiction there. Because it doesn't make sense how you could have known before we found it. Okay, I knew the contradiction clear.
You
But
said
if
Byakuya was
Chihiro...
acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You
If Chihiro's the only
absolutely
one
take
missing.
it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a...
No, it's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
But... if Chihiro's the only one missing, then... obviously it's gonna be Chihiro. Right, because... she was the one that didn't come to the breakfast meeting.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim
So I don't know
doesn't
if I agree
hold
with
up.
that.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's Piku's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got a corner he's acting like
What's
it has
the
nothing to
matter?
do with him.
You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
I like how she sounds the answer like she knows. The differences between this case and the Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Fukuya is responsible is hidden there. To be. Alright, what do we have here? Library desk lamp. Probably extension cord.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
That's probably there.
Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally concerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait,
what's wrong?
Not even involved.
I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
He wouldn't be this careless with a murder if you're trying to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Do we really need to?
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's spy was definitely found in the girls' locker room. What does that mean? Can I really just accept what Bakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off with what she said. I mean, the scene of the crime.
God! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all that.
I think we've got two pieces of evidence for
I
that.
do.
The poster and the floor mat. Hey, Byakuya, did you just... Did I take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who had been so confident until now, Byakuya never realized that the actual scene of the crime could move somewhere else. I think he realized that.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Alright, well, it's either gonna be the poster or the, carpet. And considering that's only boys' locker room carpet, I'm gonna go with the poster.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof
is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not saying it was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
What, did we just bring the carpet out here? Or do we actually got pictures?
Then,
I have no idea.
Does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene
I think
from
it's
one
pretty
locker
obvious.
room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
Not the question I thought you were gonna ask. I thought you were gonna say why is she here in the boys' locker room, but
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first
well,
place?
there's the question.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
No, you
I
can't.
highly
Go for
doubt
it, buddy.
that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
He's right. Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten to the boys' locker room somehow? Broken e-handbook. I don't think that's gonna be... Maybe.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She
I
was the
doubt it.
ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Theoretically, if Chihiro was able to use Leon's handbook, she'd get in the boys' locker room. But when I found Leon's handbook in the main hall, there was no doubt that it was... In which case, she really said she used it.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have got it?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
She was the ultimate probe. I'm sure that would have been...
No, I don't... She used the thing that was in the main...
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon...
No, it's wrong. No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
It would just be the corpse that gets shot.
Yup. Hit the nail
Repeatedly.
square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro's killed the girls' locker room, and Baku's the one who did it. Really? But still,
Hold
what
on
else
a
I can do?
second.
There
I
we
agree
go.
with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you
Yeah,
got
she's
to
already
say?
self-murdered.
There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
what?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see
Oh, we're on a field
something.
trip.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Yay!
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time. Be
You want to
sure
check
to
it again?
examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
No way,
Yeah?
no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
We're gonna stay there for a brief prayer. Sakura then began to quietly
Be
examine
sure
her
to
body.
check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's life's form. Her massive frame
this
trembled.
girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What?
You're joking,
Yep.
right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy!
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro's actually a guy. That thought crossed our mind many times
And
throughout
because
this
the
playthrough.
victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Which Yamato
Of
has already
course
confirmed
his
that.
handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Yep.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, the motive
Well,
is Bakuya.
I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Sure.
This is a most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Indeed it has.
He's off in his own little world.
Hey.
What about you, Makoto?
Yeah.
After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
It's almost like he watched the murder take place, was like, wow, how incompetent can you be? And then made it
The
a
way
game
he's
for
acting,
everyone.
it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually
he
a guy.
didn't move the body.
If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I
Tell
am not
Mondo.
effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My
think it's pretty
reasons
obvious.
hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
You're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if we didn't do it, then who's the real killer? We're Chihiro. There's one thing sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means...
I got it!
Since the crime scene was in the boys' locker room, you need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have to use their own. In other words, he would have to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I can find some more clues. Celeste's account. I don't know what Celeste's account even is.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
You'd think, Hero.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Well, Celeste did.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah! No! Not game over!
Alright,
Isn't there a single clue?
let's press
I'm sure if someone saw the... Perhaps someone
Hero.
saw the victim. Yeah.
It's over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the...
No, it's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
I like how we completely changed Chihiro's pronouns. Just completely.
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag.
And just
And then,
instantaneous,
I
too.
assume,
There's not
he
a single
headed off
slip
to
up here.
exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Yeah,
Probably
wonder why that
because he was
was.
afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Well, I think Chihiro already gave away her secret identity.
Oh, what a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Yeah, Mondo, who's the killer?
Think back
Let's
to
forget
the
to
track
buddy.
jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Don't think
Even if we
fingerprints
had
work
the
here.
equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As
Actually,
was
you're probably
noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's too hard to believe. Celeste's account? Probably gonna be,
First of all, we know where
memorization
Chihiro
here.
was heading. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what
What?
you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring
I
out
think
who
so.
the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Yep, and I've already got the bullet in my, gun.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise.
And that's fine.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Is it
I
the,
don't even have a tracksuit.
how does it
Cause
roll again?
exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Not hold Y.
I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
I mean, it,
No way.
yes and no.
Not a chance.
Because all you said under the
You
contradiction
heard him,
is
right?
it's
What he
the
just
fact that Mondo has said the color of the tracksuits when he's not seen the
First of all, we
tracksuit.
know where Chihiro was
But
heading.
I don't know where to press
He was
that
on
on.
his way to go exercise.
It's
So
just-
next we
that's
have
fine.
to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
It doesn't.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing...
No, it's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuff a track jacket in his duffel bag, and then I assumed he had it off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color.
But it was in the picture. Clearly, you know, he just looked at the picture, saw it's blue, and
So why
recognized it
did
was blue.
you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... you just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
It's blue, didn't you look at the picture?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure you saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
This way he was talking. Because he kept calling Chihiro dude before we knew that. Because I hate him. Yes. What?
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo.
Thank you.
But you tend to refer
thought
to
you said that
men
was
and
wrong.
women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
At least 3 or 4 times. It disrupted my
Once
voice
I
acting
picked
of
up
it.
on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Did you notice such a tiny detail?
I mean... If that's tiny,
Are you
then
a
you're
witch?
tiny.
She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Okay, so that means it's
Jeez,
completely
does
irrelevant.
your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
Oh, it's Leon's
Seems
handbook.
to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found the gun, right? That must mean it belongs to... Oh. Well, Sal's not ours. And I know that's not Mondo's for reasons that will be explained later. So it's Chihiro's?
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
We did?
For a fact.
You sure?
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn
Also
on.
busted won't turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd.
Nope.
I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How'd the handbooks break? There's only one possible explanation. I mean, by hitting its weak point is the most correct of the three here.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness.
Not
You
intentionally.
know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma?
Ooh,
So,
was it
what is
intentional?
it?
No.
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if
It
you want
is
this to be a fair
necessary.
trial.
But it's also fairly
But
obvious.
if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Also a fair reason.
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The
Never mind, you
temperature
did
in
know
the
it.
sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
I mean...
meaning the
Sure.
culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Well, they broke their own e-handbook.
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why.
Yeah.
And once they
Monodal's
had
clothes on.
Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
Whereas,
I
the Ultimate
won't
Hall
say
Honor
it's
did
not
not.
possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook in sauna? He had to be the one who wore all their clothes in sauna. It was. We really got to point this out again. Is this not painfully obvious? All right.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to leave it there, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of doubt. Okay.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just
She cannot
fine.
speak words. I don't think it does.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'm sure Mondo's handbook worked in the sauna showdown. If I can just prove that, then that will show that the handbook Mono must actually...
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Whatever.
If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook just...
No, it's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook
Nope.
is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
I mean,
It's kind
you're
of a
not
gray
wrong.
area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning?
Oh, we're already done with this case?
That way, everything
Okay.
will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright. So she got the jacket in the warehouse. Celeste knows Chihiro. I have no idea what that's about. Sure, go with that one. Act 2, she starts her e-handbook to get in. Not yet. I don't know what that means. That looks like the killer's hand there, because it's gray. Then I guess she opened the door. I mean, sure. Makes sense to me. And then she met Mondo. Trip her stuff in the locker, where I mean, yeah, we'll say Mondo was using the dumbbell. Took the dumbbell, and then walked to Chihiro, bashed her head in. And then that's resulting. No, hold on. I mean, that makes sense to me. Is there anywhere else we can put that? Yeah, definitely not. Okay. Smashed her head in, and then dropped it. And then moved the crime scene. So rolled the carpet. I have no idea what this one is. I'll say that's him moving the poster. Sure. No idea. Let's get the e-handbook. Scans the e-handbook. Oh, what's this? That might make more sense there. Well, so if he's already in, it wouldn't be this, right? And somehow I doubt it's gonna be this one when that's literally there. I have no idea. We'll do that by doubts, right? Alright, and that's him, or that's the image of both crime scenes. And then Makuya finds his dead body. And it's like, yeah, let's make this an actual trial, or an actual game. Well, wait. I could. Doesn't make any sense to me. If he's dragging the body, why'd you put the poster first? I don't know. Anyways, then you got Bakuya here. I don't know what that one could even be. Well, it's not him approaching the scene because he's already there in this instance. That's not his hand. That's not Bakuya. Actually, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, that could be him throwing the handbook into the sauna. Then grab the handbook and then throw it into the sauna? I have no idea. There's no way that's right. But I don't know what's wrong. Okay. So she gets the tracksuit and puts it in the duffel bag. She walks by Celeste, who notices her. I'm gonna keep using her because I assume she identified as a girl, but it doesn't really matter now. Regardless, they conversate. Then she leaves. Stuffs the tracksuit in her bag and leaves, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know what else it could be. Does that say boys on it? It does. That's probably wrong from the very beginning, but... Whose hands are these? Yeah, that's not gray. Because that's a gray hand, so that wouldn't be her. Okay. He's lifting weights. Bashes Cheer's head in. Gets blood in the poster. Gets blood in the carpet. Drops the dumbbell. He's somehow shocked that he killed a person. But he's not Lord Croft, so he's not going to mass murder and spree. He rolls up the room, tears down the poster, grabs his body, I guess leaves, using, I don't know, let's say Sakuya's handbook, gets in to the girls' locker room, puts her body down, is exhausted, so switches the crime scene around. He comes in with an extension cord, ties her up, and writes Bloodlust on the wall. And then Mondo has the e-handbook, throws it in a sauna, where it does that. I don't know what that would be. That one could be relevant, but I don't know where. And that's the only 2 extras. Or I guess there's 3 extras, but I don't see how that one's useful at all.
The killer
Alright, let's try it.
you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Okay. Yeah. Guess it makes sense. I don't see so.
You! With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Okay.
Simple.
That's for
because
opening
she
the door.
was really
rather
a
than-
he.
Okay.
Which is why he was
Makes
able
sense.
to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
Okay.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either, but... Oh! Could it be... removing the dumbbell?
Here's exactly what happened! Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Nope. What else is left? I mean, that's the same color wall. I mean, maybe it's this one. Now, would that be him opening the door? No, hold on. What door is that? That's not that door. I mean, the rest of this, I think I agree with, besides maybe the end here. That's the wrong door handle. That doesn't make any sense to me. I have no idea. Because maybe Kuya's over watching him do all this? Which makes sense to me. So we know that happened.
The killer is you! Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl.
Does he have to go back and get the handbook?
After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
So would this be the handle? Oh, we've got 3 more shots at this. Did I actually not put anything in there? Or did I remove it already? I can't save. Oh no. Well, I had to put something in there. And it just kicked it out, so I guess that makes sense. We turned a door handle that has nothing to do with the girls' locker room door.
Here's
no bloody idea.
What happened. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
I was more mad if that worked, so I'm kind of happy he didn't. So it's not that. I doubt it'd be that. That doesn't make... I mean, maybe it makes sense. don't want to try it, though. Well, because, like, if he's grabbed the body, and he's taken to the girl's locker room, literally, why would he put the poster first, and then put down the body? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't really know. I agree with everything else here asides, maybe this. I don't think I like that one, but that picture matches that picture, even though that I think matches on the floor. We're running out of time. What if I do this? I think that makes sense for the sound door. You open the door, then you throw the hand book in. I highly doubt that one. What else is there? We tried that. We tried that. I doubt that one.
Here's exactly what happened. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
Why?
And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work.
Put that in the inverse order, then. You're not gonna... Whatever.
They changed the layout of the boys and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Oh my god. So it's not the door. Literally, this is the only thing that makes sense. Right? guess I don't know where the Sana's located.
The killer is you!
Come on.
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Alright.
Wait! No, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence Mondo's the real killer. That's already real except for the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. Once I do that, our picture become clear. Oh, there's more bullet time battle? Sure. Fear time and nega time. Oh, right, bullet time battle, not the, I'm going crazy. Jesus. So you press the right bumper, fear time will activate, and tempo will be forced to the max. At this point, even if you push buttons at random, you won't miss. Okay. You push A, so you can push A, however you study for assault. That's the last till focus gauge runs out. Okay. And of course, to be fair, if only you gotta have this max dash time, right? We've also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. If your opponent activates nega time during bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fear time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if it's gentle, it's not. Alright, you can look and have fun. Let's do it. Let's defeat the Ultimate Hall Monitor.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it!
Broken the handbook.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it.
Alright. 84 mock coins. This is more than we got from last trial. Than from last trial.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that!
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for! Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around?
I don't know, I'm
Will
pretty
you
sure it's
make the
Bakuya.
right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh, it wasn't Bakuya? Dang it.
What?
Oh no, this time it looks like he got it right again. Yes, it's just so. The black that killed Chihiro Saki was Mandua Wanda.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. The Ultimate Hell Monitor chose the wrong answer. You're treated very close to the danger zone, Mr. Shimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way that he would kill someone.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? That apologizing is not welcome in a school environment. Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mom's taking a vow of silence. Storyline makes theirs in half. The storyline of the murder this time is, well, the stab of 2 men. But for anyone who doesn't want to hear it, you can just hit the B button and fast forward through the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chiharu Fusaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're weak, even though you're a boy. He heard things like that as long as you remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into the weakness, taking on the fragile form of that young girl. He had just chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. No matter how tightly you wrapped yourself up in that shell, the inferior complex had already taken deep root inside of him, and it was not so easy to weed out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Once the killing game began, here at the school, he had no choice but to accept his fate. After all, the world's survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then, the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dressed like a girl, Chihiro was actually a boy. And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, and the arm would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into a dilemma must have sent him into a spiral into despair, and yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't really want to talk about it right now. But I also don't want to leave the things they are. So maybe I can talk about it later? After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become even stronger.
That's
because
right.
You can easily get stronger overnight, right?
I want
Now's
to
my
change.
chance. I want to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. And with that thought from his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He's prepared to retain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he'd get at it.
Hey,
We decided to start exercising. He thought it would be good to ask for somebody's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first. And then asked them to help from there. And that person
Yeah,
he went
that's
to.
right.
Yeah, it was me. Yep, sure was. The parking fella had made it painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he could find Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret.
Uh-huh.
Plus, Mr. Machi Mondo was a very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro's always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help become stronger. I don't know why Chihiro said that, referring to himself like that, but I guess that's what I said. I don't know, I'm dead now. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that. So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did. To keep promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? He did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room? Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that the kind of what he had done? That could have been part of it, but I don't think that's the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he had made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret? Because if anyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone had been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secrets by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep his promise to mate Chihiro, who he also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I understand. I mean, you guys trust each other, right? So, why? Why did you? Because, no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know. So that's what triggered it all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's just not possible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone. It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. While we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know. You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate bike leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had that chance to join the gang in the first place because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother, his name was Taya Owada, which I believe is the same name from the brother guy that is killed in the crew in a game that like 5 people have played. But regardless, Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo had ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one that Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he intimidated him in everything he did. Mondo is the epitome of this starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the character's older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before you knew it, it had grown into the biggest bike gang in the country. Taya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother, Alex, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy, but when Mondo started to think about it, how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. That kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All it's gonna do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Just one time. No matter what.
Don't fuck with
I gotta
me.
win. I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out top. The night of his amazing brother retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged to a street race. During the race, Fletch Dissect. The kid's brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed in oncoming traffic, but suddenly... laying his kid's brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. Oh, my bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's a team. You and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together, and then keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that caused the accident, and as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his bigger brother. Daya was gonna lose to his brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as they're killing the game, he realized, no matter how tough he tended to be, he was just a weaker that could die in an instant. And the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on the secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'm carrying around, it'd all been for fucking nothing. So that's why Mondo. After I saw what Maku had on me, my head filled up with all kind of fuzzy uneasiness, and it just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before. I just didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to say or think, but after a while, the fuzziness and uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jeez.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me all of a sudden? Because, I mean, you've kept the secret all the time, right? If anyone would find out, you would. You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy the version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I've been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're strong. He can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You saying I just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell my secret to everyone? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to his face, to his own weakness, to try to overcome it. It's the kind of strength I never had. I was so jealous of him. The jealousy.
What?
It broke me.
What?
Were you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now? I'm not making fun of you. You're really strong, Mondo. I felt I could hear something start to creak. Something inside my head. What do you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to sit back and let my secret reveal to everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire
Yeah,
your
that's
strength.
right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I am strong. Strong.
You
Stronger
son
than
of a
you.
bitch!
Stronger than Daya. I remember anything after that. Oh, get up again. He was lying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him down at the ground. Hey.
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was not so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned cold-blooded. God damn it. Hey, look at him. You see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed a living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets in the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up. Shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead and say I dare you. Okay, I'll say as many times as I want. It is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now, because there's time for punishing is fast approaching. But punishing? You mean execution?
Well now.
Unless I promised you, right? The blackened that's just peacefully punished.
Now
Hold
then,
on.
I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Wada, the old bits mind game leader. No.
Let's
Wait,
give it everything we've got.
This is not welcome to the school environment.
It's punishment time!
I said, wait! I can't do his voice and scream.
Sorry, man.
I
couldn't keep the
can't.
promise we made. From one man to another.
Mondo butter. It's twice the fat. Laugh at death. Your soul be over in peace. It can't be. You just turned him into butter? My brother. Another murder, another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. But I'll just let it happen. As Taka sat screaming bare skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Fukuya.
This.
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is fucking dead. Do you realize that? Of course I do. But this is a game of life or death. I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that I just don't understand why. Why'd you go out your way to disguise Mondo's crime? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm and motionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual. So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please, continue. The night grew late. I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girl's locker room. He had gone, and I looked beside and saw the corpse. What, you mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. So, you're saying you know who the culprit was from the very beginning? Indeed. But if that's the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a helping hand. I thought you would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up? Just after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene. Damn, man. If we hadn't figured out you'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I had to reveal the truth before that reached that point. Of course. Fukuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing me. Thanks to a certain someone, it never did. I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become the Blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied? Yes. We're done listening to your story.
Hey.
Moving on. There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma. Oh, I'm up next. You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? You know, the best punishment, the despair, they're such for you. It's all the punishment. All the despair is my gift to mankind itself. You're over-exaggerating. Are you not over-exaggerating? These punishments are meant to transfer hope and despair. What do you mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean. Good grief. I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm gonna stand alone as the victor. And then everything will be revealed to me.
How exciting!
The noble so noble family. Truly, you understand. This started a terrifying friendship. Shut up. I would never stoop to a level of childish criminal like you. Just let me say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm gonna find you and kill you.
In the name of my family.
in the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a
You're
foregone
getting all
conclusion.
riled up!
Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash talk for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper sounds like somebody's nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Shiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because Mastermind would not let it end. For those of us still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that, like a blind puppy in hell, would have more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It's the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
I actually don't know who that is. I have no memories at all. Let's just give them a generic evil voice. That's the one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away!
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Yeah, I have no idea that even could pretend to be. Alright. But yeah, that's the end of the second trial here. Or the second chapter here. Alright, so the next one we'll continue with a daily life. And whoever's question mark speaking. But yeah, alright, I'll see you guys next one. Till then, peace.